Hey, good morning. It's Matt Tommey. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to share a little something with you that literally changed my life several years ago, and I began to understand this because I was like a lot of artists. I had this continual head game going on all the time. Like, am I good enough? Am I going to be able to make money with my art? Is God pleased? Does God want me to sell my art? How am I created? What am I supposed to be doing? All this, blah, 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 just constantly in my head all the time. And I started to realize, and this may be like da 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 trumpet sounding for you. I started to realize that that's not the way it's supposed to be. That I actually have the opportunity, and you actually have the opportunity to change and manage and control what goes on in your mind. See, there's an interesting thing about people of faith. We a lot of times have this thing I call mailbox mentality, which is we hope for the best and don't do anything else. We kind of are like, well, God's in control, everything's going to work out, all this kind of stuff, and yet we don't do our part in that. And see, the beautiful thing I think about the way we've all been divinely designed is that God created us with a plan. He's got a plan and a design for your life that is so incredible beyond what you and I could ever imagine. But guess what? The design is that we would participate in seeing that plan actually worked out in our life. And a big, big, big part of that, all right, listen, a big part of that for us is learning to change the inner narrative, the story, the movie that's going on the inside so that it can come in agreement with what God has said about you and what he said about your life. All right. See, if you can't dream with God, if you can't see what he sees, if you can't believe what he believes, then there's no way that you can experience what he has for you in your life, because everything in this life is about agreement. See, when you agree with something, you welcome it into your life. All right. This is big. You may have never heard this before, but when you agree with something, you welcome it into your life. So those negative thoughts, those bad feelings, all that stuff that's constantly going through, the self-doubt, the fear, all that stuff that's maybe constantly going through your head all the time, the more you allow that, the more you agree with that, the more you welcome that, the more you don't challenge that, guess what? It's like seeds that get planted in the garden of your heart. And all of a sudden, what starts happening? They start sprouting. And all of a sudden, when things start sprouting, they have fruit. And the fruit is called your life and my life. And we start looking around going, this sucks. This is not the way I wanted life to be. And we never realize that the life that we're experiencing is the direct result of the fruit that's coming forth. So how do you change that? Well, Paul tells us in the New Testament, he says, renew your mind. That's one of the things. But there's lots of different things that we can do. It's not really that difficult. And complicated. It's really a simple process, but it's a matter of being focused on that process and understanding how the kingdom works, understanding how you and I are wired so that you can learn to leverage the laws that God has designed this world with in order to be able to cooperate with how he's created you and experience all that he's got for you. I started going through this process years ago, and man, it has changed my life. I'm talking financially, I'm talking relationally, in ministry, my relationships, my own self-image, all of it completely changed. You look at somebody's life, you're like, wow, they're living the dream. How do they do that? I'll tell you how you do it. All right? You get an agreement with what God says about you, and you begin to actually see your life change. Well, listen, you and I were designed for much more than probably what we're living right now. And I really believe that we're designed to thrive. And I'd love to help you through that process if this is kind of something that you're looking to do. I've got a webinar series, the last one for 2016, called Choose to Thrive. It's starting on November 1st, and you can click the link right down here below and find out a lot more about it. But if you're serious about kind of wanting to change that sort of thing in your life and actually start thriving and living the life that you are divinely designed to live, I'd love to help you walk through that and join some others in that process as well. We've been doing it all this year, and it has been yielding some incredible results. All right, hope to see you there. Bye.